1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That one is driven to right field and deep. There it goes. See ya. Welcome back, Jazz Chisholm. It's 2-1 Yankees. Driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back to back by the Yankees, and they lead 3-1.
Center field, Friedel. At the wall. He made the catch, and the Reds win.
First pitch, Freeman lifts one the other way. Back goes Nimmo. Still back. It is over. Freddie Freeman drives in Tommy Edman. The Dodgers come back and win it in 10. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Boy, it is another A-plus day today. We're at about 83, 84 degrees, plenty of sunshine. Just a beautiful day. And we certainly do appreciate you hanging out with us here on this Wednesday afternoon on the Sam Bourquin Show. Sammy B here, Ryan Rainsberg over there. Phone lines are open. We'll get them open to you right away today at 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. You can text the show anytime, 330-924-7088. You can also watch and listen to us on the WDPN X page, Facebook page, and, of course, the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. We have got a lot of stuff going on today. I mean, we're all over the place. So if it sounds a little confusing, it is. But hang in there with us. We're trying to monitor 2 baseball games right now. Glen Oak is in action at Thurman Munson Stadium. Hoover baseball is in action up at Gilmore Academy. Central Catholic plays at 5 o'clock today. Jackson plays at 5 o'clock today. Green plays today. Lake Center Christian plays today. So we're trying to keep you up to date with all those games. I got folks everywhere. It's just a matter of when they send the quick updates in to me, and we will relay reloads. J-Lo, we'll relay those to you as soon as we get them. Now, I can tell you at Thurman Munson Stadium, in the 3rd inning, it is Glen Oak on top 4-1 in their game. Glen Oak on top 4-1. Still looking for an update on the Hoover game, but they were just underway up at Gilmore Academy in their game. So we are monitoring all those games as we roll here this afternoon. Guardians and the Yankees will play tonight, game 2 of that series. First pitch a little bit after 7 o'clock tonight. Gardos fell to the Yankees last night by the score of 3-2. Absolutely no offense. Pitching wasn't bad, but you heard in our show open, a couple of home runs by New York off of Tanner Bybee, who's given up a slew of home runs this year. And New York made it stand up for the 3-2 win. Game 2 tonight, game 3 tomorrow night. I originally thought this was going to be an afternoon game tomorrow, but no, they're going to play that at night a little bit after 7 o'clock at Yankee Stadium. What else is going on today? Oh, yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers coaching staff is -1 now. The Phoenix Suns have hired Jordan Ott as their new head coach. He was an assistant under Kenny Atkinson with the Cavaliers this year. Of course, the Cavs regular season 64-18, gentleman's sweep in the second round of the playoffs, but Ott was a very popular coach on this staff, so he is gone. That's the price you pay, man. It's the price you pay for success. When you do well, everybody else wants a little piece of the pie. They want to come in and take your people from you. That's exactly what happened. So Yeah, Jordan Ott is off from Cleveland. He'll be the new head basketball coach of the Phoenix Suns. Now, the New York Knicks search continues. Now, I don't want to set anybody alarm here. I don't want to set the alarm. But the Cavs, you know when guys do well, right? What did I just tell you about the Cavs staff? Jordan Ott leaving to go to the Phoenix Suns. The New York Knicks are sniffing around too. I wouldn't be surprised if they would try to talk to pry away, make some inroads with our guy, Kenny Atkinson. Yeah. We told you yesterday about when Tibbs got fired, and it took me a couple of minutes to figure out, here's who they should go after. And right away I said Michael Malone. And I still think he is probably the best fit. Malone will get a job next year somewhere. Will it be New York? I don't know. I think he is very, very, very high on the New York Knicks list. I really, truly believe that. Some other names that have been bandied about. John Calipari. Yeah. Former Kentucky coach, had a cup of coffee in the NBA, and now he's with Arkansas. And now there's rumors that possibly he could possibly come in for an interview with the Knicks. I don't see it. Remember when he coached the Nets for a couple of years? He actually got him in the playoffs. I think it was 97, 98. I don't see this fitting. Cal's got 4 years left on his 5-year deal with Arkansas. Now, remember, when he left Kentucky to go to Arkansas, he took a little bit of a pay cut. Now, the Knicks surely can offer as much money as anybody out there. But I don't know if John Calipari is the way to go. I would be shocked. I would be shocked about that. And then Jay Wright's name came up. Remember the coach at Villanova? Had a great run with the Wildcats, Final Fours, national championship. He's the guy that I wanted to come out of retirement to coach Ohio State when they fired Chris Holtmann. We got Diebler. I wanted Jay Wright, but he looks very comfortable on the set on television covering college basketball. Now, he's 63 years old. So when you're talking about NBA coaches, he wouldn't be Grandpa Wright, but he's in the upper echelon as far as age is concerned as coaches in the NBA. I don't think he would want to come back, but I bet you the Knicks might knock on the door. They might place a couple of phone calls. Remember, he didn't leave Villanova till 2022, so he's been out a little over 3 years. 63 is not old. I don't think 63 is old to coach in the NBA. But if you look at the ages, you take the average age of the rest of the coaches in the league, it appears to be a little bit on the older side. Then this fourth and final candidate that they're throwing around, this article was on Yahoo Sports today. Can I interest you in Jeff Van Gundy? Jeff Van Gundy. Yes. He knows what it takes to win in New York. He's been there before. He's been doing TV for a long time. Remember when ABC, ESPN made cuts? He was let go. Mark Jackson was let go. But the dude knows basketball inside and out. He's the last coach to take the Knicks to the finals. And you know he's still got plenty of juice. I'm not sure how old Jeff Van Gundy is. I think Jeff Van Gundy looks older than he actually is. I bet the pilot light's still on there a little bit, but I bet you the Knicks would reach out to him. And these are just a couple of the names that were floated around in an article today. Don't you dare come after my coach. You stay away from Kenny Atkinson. You stay away. Phoenix, you already took one of our assistant coaches. I don't need the New York Knicks hanging around the chicken coop trying to get my coach. Forget it. I better not see it, or there'll be bleep to pay. Hear me? You New Yorkers, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to come after yins. Forget about it. You leave Kenny Atkinson alone. Go find your own coach. Stay away. Our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Thought we'd have a little fun today with a little music. Your poll question of the day. What's your favorite genre of music? Is it rock, pop, hip-hop, or country? What's your favorite genre of music? A, rock, B, pop, C, hip-hop, D, country. You can take the quiz. You can drop your answers. AM 1310 WDPN on X and on Facebook as well. You can also drop the comments in on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. I think rock is going to be a pretty decisive winner here today, but I have been surprised before. So we'll read some of those results as we move along. We will also talk a little Browns today. We won't talk too much. We're going to have Fred Greetham on tomorrow from the Orange and Brown Report. He'll kind of wrap up OTAs. We'll talk a little Shedeur Sanders. We'll talk Kevin Stefanski and how they're kind of, trying to make the most out of the quarterback room as we see it right now. So we'll talk a little Browns today, but we'll take a little deeper dive into the Browns tomorrow. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs get underway tonight in Edmonton. The Oilers hosting the Florida Panthers in Game 1. And don't forget the NBA Finals tomorrow. Game 1 of 7, best of 7, I should say. The Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder are a huge, huge favorite to win the series. Can the Pacers offer a little resistance? I think they can. I think this baby goes 6. I think it goes 6. I think OKC wins it, but I think it's going to be a very entertaining series. Get some fresh blood, some of the up-and-coming talent into the NBA Finals on the big stage, the bright lights, the big spotlight. I think it's going to be a fun series. I think you will have more people watching this series that are not like your typical hardcore NBA fan, late to the party, watch the finals. I think you're going to have a lot more people tuned in just to watch these teams because the way they play defense, they play hard, they hustle up and down the floor. You get a couple of really good coaches. The fan bases are fantastic. I think it's going to be fun. I can't tell you that the ratings are going to go through the roof. They probably aren't. But again, I'm just interested in watching a great series, and I think we're going to get it. We'll talk to Sam Amico from Hoops Wire tomorrow. We'll talk a little NBA with Sammy, and we'll talk about the Cavs offseason as well. So we got a couple of good guests already lined up for you tomorrow. Also tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Thursday. Tomorrow's a 3-question Thursday. We'll have that, and then Friday we will be giving away our first set of tickets to go see the Akron Rubber Ducks. Now, if you missed it, remember we told you yesterday Shane Bieber was supposed to start in a rehab stint with the Rubber Ducks Thursday night. Well, that's been moved back. So Bieber will start for the Rubber Ducks on Friday night at Canal Park. Okay? But then beginning Friday and moving forward here for the next couple of weeks at least, we'll be giving away some tickets for you to go check out the Akron Rubber Ducks up at Canal Park. So we are excited about that as well. All right, the phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. We'll take a break and come back, get you caught up on the high school baseball playoffs and more on 1310 WDPN.
Are you looking to send flowers to someone special? Let DeHoff's Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping take the hassle out of this beautiful gesture for you. When you order online through national flower dealers, you lose 20 to 30% of your money because it goes to the middleman. Get more bloom for your buck and order from DeHoff's. They'll deliver. It's true, when you skip the middleman, all your money goes towards the flowers, and that makes everyone happy. Well, except the middleman. Locally owned and operated, the experts at DeHoff's have over 61 years of professional knowledge and experience, and they'll be happy to design the perfect arrangement for all the events in your life. So remember, DeHoffs.com, and you'll always get more bloom for your buck. In Alliance on the corner of Beach and Beechwood, you can order by phone too at 330-823-1455.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Phone lines are open for you to get in, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Sam Bourquin with you on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, I would love to be outside right now watching some playoff baseball, right? Some tournament ball. Our high school teams are having at it today. Hoover, Glen Oak, Jackson, Central Catholic, Green, and Lake Center Christian. Best of luck to all of the teams today. Still looking for a Hoover update. I got another Glen Oak update down there at Thurman Munson Stadium. Top of the fourth inning, Glen Oak is in the lead by the score of 4-2, and the Eagles are the home team today. So we're in the top of the fourth, Glen Oak on top by the score of 4-2. Hoover got underway at 2 o'clock today up at Gilmore Academy. Central Catholic and Jackson, their first pitch today in their games separately will be at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Checking out the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's your favorite music? What's your music genre? What do you think? Pop, rock, hip-hop, or country? So far, rock. This is on the X poll. A little different results than Facebook. I try to take a little average of both of them. Rock at 54%. Pop at 23%. Country at 23%. Hip-hop, 0%. I got no hip-hoppers out there. Nothing. Got to be somebody out there. Come on. Drop us a line. Let us know. Give us your comments on our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. All right, we opened up our sound today with our show open, which we do. We play about 3, 4, 5 clips, depending on the night before. Some of the exciting plays, the big plays, hopefully the good plays from our teams. There was nothing last night again for the Guardians. They got a couple of runs in, really never threatened in that game. Tanner Bybee gave up a couple of home runs back-to-backs as the Guardians fell by the score of 3-2. We'll try it again tonight in New York, the first pitch a little bit after 7 o'clock. Now, remember yesterday, I don't know if it was in the 4 o'clock hour or the 5 o'clock hour, and I gave you what I thought Tanner Bybee's pitching line was going to be. And I said something about he needs to give me 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, a walk, and I said he would hit a batter. Did he hit a batter last night? I don't think that he did. But his pitching last night, his pitching line, Tanner Bybee, that wasn't too crazy off here. Wasn't too crazy off at all. 6 1/3 innings. He gives up 4 hits, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. I hit that right on the money. Does not look like he hit anybody last night. How about that? See, I knew it. Again, FanDuel. I should have made a move, and I didn't. Anyhow, Bybee's 4-6 now on the season. And would you consider that a quality start? 6 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. He did give up 2 home runs. Not horrible. Not great, but it's not horrible. You give up 3 runs, you score 4, you win the game. But we didn't do that. We had a lot of donuts last night. Quan, 0-for. Manzardo, 0-for. Wilson, 0-for. Naylor, 0-for. Too many last night. Hosey, thank God for Hosey. 2 for 4 and scored a run. I mean, come on. Help the guy out. Schneemann, 1 for 1, pinch hit, got an RBI. That's all the offense we could muster. We fall 3-2. We'll try it again tonight a little bit after 7 at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. News and weather coming up next. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. Just kind of getting cranked up here on this Wednesday afternoon on 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Law enforcement officials say Mohammed Solomon, the suspect in the anti-Semitic attack in Boulder, Colorado, had been planning the attack for a year. ABC's Alex Stone has more on the suspect's family, who were taken into custody Tuesday.
They're likely going to be deported. We don't know, to Egypt, where he had lived for 17 years, or Kuwait, rather, where he had lived for 17 years, or to Egypt, where he was born, and some family members may have been born as well. So where they will go, we don't know. The White House had tweeted out last night, or on X, they had said that the family members might have been deported as quickly as last night. We understand that has not happened. It's going through the process, but that they will be leaving the U.S.
Europe and the United States say progress has been made, but there were no breakthroughs during a meeting in Paris to negotiate a settlement of a tariff spat with global economic ramifications. European Union top trade negotiator Maros Sefcovic met today with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer on the sidelines of a meeting of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Sefcovic said in a post on X that the sides are advancing in the right direction and staying in close contact. Brussels and Washington, though, are unlikely to reach a substantive trade agreement in Paris. President Trump today spoke by phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin, that according to the president on social media. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has more.
President Trump says his phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin lasted an hour and 15 minutes. He called it, quote, a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. He said the two presidents discussed Ukraine's Sunday attack on Russian airfields and writes, quote, President Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond. Russia and Ukraine held talks on Monday in Turkey, but the attacks have intensified. U.S. officials said they were disappointed, but not surprised by the substantial list of demands Russia said must be met before it would agree to a 30-day ceasefire. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
An Israeli and U.S.-backed group has temporarily paused food delivery at its 3 distribution sites in Gaza. This after health officials said dozens of Palestinians were killed in a series of shootings near the sites this week. Separately, officials said Israeli strikes across the country killed 26 people overnight and into today. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation says it was in talks with the Israeli military on better guiding foot traffic near its distribution sites and enhancing military procedures. Gaza health officials, the Red Cross, and the UN Human Rights Office said 27 people were killed Tuesday. Witnesses blamed Israeli forces. Israel's military said it fired near people it described as suspects and that it is looking into reports of casualties. It's 85 degrees and Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny skies for the afternoon with a high near 87. For the overnight, increasingly cloudy skies with a low dipping to 66. Showers and thunderstorms for your Thursday afternoon, a high near 80. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Possibilities are all around us. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Imagine the hospital experience. Scary surgeries, painful recoveries. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. You can like, share, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Keyword 1310 WDPN. You can check us out on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. Let's see here. Got an update from Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. Top of the fifth inning. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Medina has come back to take the lead on Glen Oak 5-4. Medina 5, Glen Oak 4, top of the fifth at Munson Stadium. Jackson scheduled to play at 5 o'clock today down at Munson. Central Catholic, 5 o'clock over at Massillon today. Hoover, I'm having a heck of a time getting a Hoover score today. Somebody help us out. I got feelers out all over the place, but I'm having trouble getting that one. Hoover was supposed to play at 2 o'clock today up at Gilmore Academy in their tournament game. We'll try to get you some scores there. Green Lake Center Christian also in action today as well. So we will keep you on top of things, but right now, top of the fifth inning at Munson, Division I, Medina leads Glen Oak by the score of 5-4. Come on, Coach Frisbee and the Golden Eagles, come back and let's get that baby. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Sam Bourquin Show poll question today. What's your favorite genre of music? Is it rock, pop, hip-hop, or country? Let us know on our social media platforms. You can also call in 330-821-1310. Mr. Rainsberg, I understand we got a couple of folks chiming in over there on the social media universe.
Yes, sir. We've got Buck with us, just as we do every day. He says, hey, and he fired off a few articles for you to read that I have forwarded to you. And then Sal here says, what to do, Sam? He says, series betting, Pacers are +2.5 and +105. He says, can they win at least 2?
Yes. I think it goes 6. I think it goes 6. I think Oklahoma City wins. But yes, at that price, I'm all over it.
Yeah, I see the Pacers putting up a fight. So
I just can't see the Pacers. I can't see a Rick Carlisle coach team not making that a series. And I know Oak's good. I know they're good. I've watched enough of SGA. And I know Oklahoma City is really, really good. I mean, you go back and look at the beginning of the year. So we'll say the first week of January. Who are the two hottest teams in the NBA, record-wise? Since the beginning of January, you're looking at them. Oklahoma City and Indiana. I just can't. I refuse to believe the Pacers will not put up a fight. They had to exert a little extra oomph against the Bucks. Dispatched them. They took care of the Cavaliers pretty easily. And if the Cavs were healthy, it may have been a different story. I don't know. It is what it is. And then they took out the Knicks. Hard series, physical series. You can't tell me they're going to go on. They're going to go on the NBA final stage and lay an egg. There's just no way. I think they win 2 games. So yeah, absolutely, Sal, do it. Just do it. 6 games. Oak City will win it, but I think the Pacers will get a couple. They'll get a couple. I don't like what's going on with our Cavaliers staff. I don't like it. Phoenix has already swooped in and taken Jordan Ott. He's the new head coach of the Suns. You know the Knicks are going to be nosing around. They're going to be looking at our assistant coaches. And I bet you one Weisenheimer up there, hey, I bet you we could get Kenny Atkinson away. I bet you we could figure out a way to do it. Stay away from my coach. Stay away. You've been warned. All right? You've been warned. I'm excited for this series. Starts tomorrow night. Game 1. And I think what the NBA has done the last several years, much to the chagrin of all of us, I think they did it again this year. Game 1 is going to be Thursday night in OKC, and I don't think they're playing Game 2 until Sunday, which we all know why. We get it. We understand it, but we don't have to like it. I don't have to like that you're playing in one city on a Thursday and there's no travel involved, nothing. But you're going to make us wait until Sunday because Sunday night traditionally is the best night for television viewership, especially with live sports. So I get it. I understand it, but I don't have to like it. So that's what they're serving us up again. You'll get Game 1 on Thursday, and then you'll have to wait till Sunday to get Game 2. I want to know who the New York Knicks are going to get. Michael Malone, I think, is the guy. Article on Yahoo Sports today, guys throwing around names like Jay Wright, Jeff Van Gundy, John Calipari. What does that say? What does that say about the state of the NBA and coaching and getting a job in New York? I mean, Jay Wright's been retired from college. Calipari's got a gig with Arkansas. Van Gundy's been out of it for a long time. Last time even being around it was via the television. Maybe the coaching pool is a little bit more dried up than we all thought. I still say the odds say Michael Malone. We'll see. But again, you've got to look at what's going on away from the epicenter, so to speak. And what's that roster going to look like here within the next 2 to 4 months? Are they going to try to make some big splash, the Knicks? Are they going to maybe move a Karl Anthony Towns? Are they going to try to move a Jalen Brunson? Anunoby? Are they going to try to make a big splash? Are they going to try to get Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks? That would be such a New York thing to do, right? Make the big splash, screw up all the chemistry, bring in all these new pieces. Everything starts rotating around, but you got your guy. You got one of the best guys in the NBA, Giannis. But then what are you going to do around him? What are you going to do around him?
Sam,
I just don't know.
If you had Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns on the same team, that's yeah. If I was going to start building a fantasy team, those two dudes would be in there.
See, I would rather have if the Knicks would go out and try to get Giannis, there's no way in the world they'll be able to hold on to Cat or maybe even Brunson.
Yeah,
For me,
you would need to trade a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
You gotta, you want somebody good, you got to get rid of somebody good.
Yeah.
And in this case, it would be you'd have to get rid of somebody's good.
Oh yeah,
to go get
Giannis.
a guy like Giannis.
Good God, yeah.
But I'm holding on to Brunson, man. I could probably go without Karl Anthony Towns. I know he had a pretty good series. I know he had flashes in games of all world. That's the Cat we all used to. I'd rather have Brunson. I think he brings the lunch pail every game. And I know his defense is a little shaky. Sometimes he channels his inner Darius Garland. Dribble, 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 dribble. Okay? Sometimes he dribbles to death. But the dude's got a big heart. And he fights and he plays hard. And I think his teammates really like him. So if I was the Knicks and I had to move one, it would be Karl Anthony Towns. It's just like kind of with the Cavs. If they're going to make a move, if they're going to do something, you're going to have to unload a Jared Allen. You're going to have to unload a Darius Garland. Those are your two top that I would say we could talk business. I'm not giving you Evan Mobley and I'm not giving you Donovan Mitchell. But the other guys I'll talk about. And like the role guys, yeah, everything's on the table. Strus, yeah, on the table. Merrill, on the table. Those guys they can be had. But if you're the Cavs, are you comfortable with giving up Garland or Allen or both? Are you comfortable giving up one or the other or both? And what are you going to get back in return? This Garland for Jalen Suggs thing is kind of heating up a little bit. It's got a little bit of oomph behind it. But I don't know. Then you start talking about chemistry. Sometimes chemistry is what? A little overrated. Sometimes. Most of the time, I believe chemistry is very, very important. Now, at the pro level, I don't know. You could probably knock that down a notch or two. But it's still important. Remember, you're going to be around these guys. NBA now, it's like 8-9 months a year. You better get used to it. You better like who you're going to be around. Whether you're on a road trip, you're hitting the practice floor, you're all going to go out after the games. Obviously, you got to have the chemistry on the floor. You got to have chemistry in the huddle. You got to have chemistry on the practice floor. You got to have guys who what? Know their role. You got to have guys that will sacrifice a little bit. That stuff cannot be overvalued. I don't care what level it is. I don't care if it's high school, college, or pro. Those little things, those intangibles, those things that they seem cheesy and corny and it's overkill and it's very important. Have you ever been on a team, no matter what the sport, but you're pretty talented? Yeah, maybe a guy or two's got a little bigger ego than others. But have you ever been on a team like that there were guys that just didn't like each other? You didn't like them. They didn't like you. There were little cliques on the team. That's bad news, man. That's bad news. That doesn't work. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Well, what's the head football coach up at Minnesota College? What's his name? Row the boat guy. Forget his name. Everybody's got to row the boat. Everybody's got to pull the same direction. And you can call it whatever it is, but those little things, those little intangibles, they make a big difference. You got to trust. You got to want to be trusted, not just by your coach, but your teammates. It's got to be a family kind of deal. It's what Mike Feuline over at Mount Union, just down the street, it's what he preaches all the time. Family. Play for other people. Jeff Lindesmith, outstanding high school football coach at Canton Central Catholic. What does he always say? Play for the guy to the left of you. Play for the guy to the right of you. That stuff's important. You don't win big without having chemistry. You don't win championships without going for the same cause, about being a family. You can have talent. You can throw the ball 100 yards. You can run a 4.2 40. You can tackle in open space. You can hit a ball 500 feet. You can slam dunk a ball over anybody. But if you don't have chemistry and you don't all go for the same goal and you can't check yourself at the door every day, just a little bit. Don't completely change your identity, but you got to leave a little bit of that ego at the door. Just a little for the common good, right? And if you put all those things, you put all those elements in a mixing bowl, mix them up, shake them up, dump it out on the paper, usually spells winner. At least that's what I have seen over the years. I've been on some teams, way back. Man, we all got along. There was no sniping. There was no cliques. We hung out after every game if we had to, every practice. That's just how it was. I don't know if it's like that everywhere. I would like to think that it could be, but I know it's not. It's all under one umbrella. Play hard, play as a team, play for your fellow teammates, play for your coach. It all come together. Talent is a must, yes. But you got to have the other little thing. You got to have guys on the team. Again, I don't care what sport it is. You got to do the little things. Sometimes guys have to do the dirty work. Football, you got to play special teams and bust your butt. You got to be that gunner. You got to get down there and wreak havoc. Basketball, you might be the guy that's in practice who's just standing underneath the basket, rebounding for 4 or 5 shooters on the perimeter, and that's your only job for that 15, 20-minute time. That's just what you do. Got to have glue guys. Got to have guys that are in it for everybody else but themselves. That's when you get a winner. 3:52 on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. You can always text the program at 330-924-7088. When we get back, we'll check out the high school baseball tournament scoreboard. We'll get the latest results on the Sam Bourquin poll question of the day and a whole lot more coming up here on 1310 WDPN.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm a wife and the mother of 2 kids, and I've got a good job.
Bye, Mom.
See you, Mom. A pretty important job. Because of my family and my job, I really care about this neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. Yes, there's some crime. And when I drive to work, like now, I realize that some people here don't trust the police. So the police should be reaching out to this community, and this community should reach out to the police. That's the way to make this a safer place. And when I get to work in the precinct house and put on my uniform, I can tell you as a police officer that this department is reaching out to the community, and the community is doing its part. We're building partnerships. This should be happening everywhere. This is how we can all be safer. Get involved. Start the conversation.
Start the conversation and help stop crime. To learn the 5 things you can do, go to ncpc.org/prevent violent crime. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
About 5 minutes left in the hour. We'll take you up to the news and weather here at 4 o'clock, and then 2 more big hours to go. High school baseball update. We are in the top of the 6th inning at Thurman Munson Stadium. It is still Medina 5, Glen Oak 4. Top of the 6th, Medina 5, and Glen Oak 4. Eagles need a little rally here. Need a little rally in the last couple innings. Well, what a beautiful day for baseball today, huh? It'll be about 83, 84 degrees right now. We're going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. They were calling for a little rain tomorrow. That's out of here. Forget about it. Maybe a little bit Friday and Saturday. We'll see. Sam Bourquin Show. Poll question of the day. What's your favorite music genre? What do you like? A, rock. B, pop. C, hip-hop. D, country. Rock and country are doing pretty well as we speak. Let's read some of these responses on our social media platforms, if you will. Now, where do we go here? Let's see here. Hey, we just got a word from Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports. He's going to come on today and talk a little NBA at 4:15 today. Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports. We'll talk some NBA coming up at 4:15. Maybe he can, I talked to him and I said, you need to come on and calm me down. I'm afraid we're going to lose our coach. So Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports, covers the NBA. He'll be on at 4:15 this afternoon. All right, Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's your favorite music genre? Pop, rock, hip-hop, or country? Let's read some of our responses, shall we? Yes, I'm stalling time because I'm trying to scroll up and down here, but I got it. Tommy says rock for sure. Jim Baumgartner says rock. Mike, rock. Peggy says country. Dave Loud. Sammy, I can't. I like them all. Tony Ramos says I like rock, hip-hop, and country. I also like R&B, jazz, and salsa. You go, Tony. You go, Tony Ramos. Eric Longwell says country, but really all of the above. Hey, I see Aiden Longwell. A little setback. Remember we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago playing for the Spokane Indians of the Colorado Rockies organization? He was just smacking the ball all over the place. He had like 7 or 8 home runs, nice solid batting average. Had a little setback, a little minor injury, but he should be back in action here maybe within a week. So go get him, Aiden, and heal up, my friend. Melanie says 80s rock or Christian music. That's her favorite. Rocky, hope you're well, Rocky. I admit Rocky is on the road probably right now on his way to Columbus. Truck driver. Rocky says rock all day long. Makes sense, right? Adam Gurley says country. Carl Stacy says, I can't decide. It's got to be rock or country. Matthew DiGiacomo. Matthew, hope you're doing well. He says rock is good for me. Doug Parton, 70s and 80s pop. Let's see here. Kevin Fisher says, okay, Ryan, you might have to help me out with this. Grindcore, death metal, and doom.
Those are all subgenres of rock, more or less.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
So, like, you have Metallica, which is metal.
Yes.
And then you have all these really weird subgenre offshoots of Metallica's metal. That's what you said. Sludge and drudge and doom and all those kinds of demonic terms.
Oh, demonic.
Yeah. Some of them, not all of them.
What are we doing here?
Look, I don't really listen to that much kind of that heavy metal music, but I'm familiar with it.
Interesting. Well, see there, you helped me out there because I had no idea what grindcore, death metal, and doom were.
Yeah, I know all kind of weird stuff about music.
Okay. Hey, that's why you get the big bucks. Diana says country. Eric Harkins says C. Give me a little hip hop on my Wednesday afternoon. All right, we got the news. We got the weather coming up. Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports, 4:15. We'll talk a little NBA. We'll check out the baseball scoreboard and have some fun with you on 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Uncertainty over tariffs growing again after another hike kicked in. The cost of importing steel and aluminum doubled from 25% to 50% today. ABC's Karen Travers says another deadline looms for trade deals just over a month away.
The administration continues to negotiate trade deals, and they're saying to trade partners all around the world, give us your best offer. We are 35 days out from the end of that 90-day pause. And the president told me himself, at the end of that, if trade deals are not reached with those countries, the tariffs will go into effect.
President Trump, in a social media post, says he spoke briefly with Russia's Vladimir Putin today and says the Russian leader signaled he will have to respond to Ukraine's recent strikes on Russian military airfields. Trump has since removed that social media post. Nebraska's Governor Jim Pillen signed a measure into law today banning transgender students from girls' sports. Nebraska joins nearly 24 other states that have implemented similar bans. This is ABC News.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale, which means if you're shopping for summer, you can get insider deals on our best brands, even ones that aren't usually on sale, like an extra 30% off Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein, Levi's, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance. And with Father's Day just around the corner on June 15th, it's a great time to shop for Dad. Stop by Macy's today and walk out with the perfect gift. Don't miss Friends and Family. Going on now, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Robert Moore will have to wait to stand trial again for the presumed murder of a Smith Township teen. A continuance for the case of the 55-year-old Alliance man was granted today by Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Maureen Sweeney. A new trial date has not been set. Postponement was sought by Assistant Attorney General Dan Caceres, who took over the case in January. He cited a need for additional time to prepare. Prosecutor Lynn Morrow previously requested a special prosecutor to avoid a conflict of interest. Moore was found not guilty of aggravated murder in 2022 in the June 2009 disappearance of 17-year-old Glenna White. Sweeney declared a mistrial after jurors were unable to agree on a lesser charge of murder. Several mistrials and continuances have taken place. A charge against a former Canton City Schools custodian has been dropped. 44-year-old Eric Snyder of Sherrodville pleaded guilty in August to grand theft. He was accused of stealing money from the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Local 107. $22,000 was taken from the union between June 2022 and May of last year. Snyder's charge was dismissed and records sealed after Snyder repaid the money and completed a theft diversion program. He resigned from the school district in July. Legislation to repeal fire and EMS levies in North Canton will receive a first reading Monday. The proposal concerning the 1.5 mil fire levy and 3.3 mil EMS levy is scheduled to appear on City Council's agenda. The repository reports the repeal would become law and take effect within 30 days after the third reading. Finance Director Gina Alabak would then file paperwork with the Stark County Budget Commission to remove the levies from the tax rolls. Council pledged to repeal the levies if voters passed a 0.5% increase of the city's income tax. The tax hike was approved in the May primary. Council will also consider a measure to finance construction of a new fire station. It involves borrowing $16 million from bond investors. The trial is underway for a Brimfield Township man accused of killing his wife. Opening statements were presented Tuesday in Portage County Common Pleas Court in the case of 37-year-old Eric Cunningham. The prosecution began calling witnesses to testify, with additional testimony scheduled today. Cunningham was indicted on charges of murder and felonious assault in the killing of 33-year-old Lacey Cunningham. She was shot to death in the garage of the couple's Hazelnut Drive home on New Year's Eve 2018. Cunningham turned himself in 4 days later. The trial was delayed due to an appeal, which was denied in 2023. A new report says a plane equipped with advanced sensors for deployment to chemical disasters could have helped avoid the blowing open of 5 rail tank cars after the 2023 East Palestine train derailment. Tuesday's report from the EPA Inspector General said officials on the ground didn't fully understand the plane's capabilities. The single-engine Cessna wasn't called into action until the night before the rail cars filled with vinyl chloride were blown open. The report says the agency's on-scene coordinator thought the so-called aspect plane could only measure 20 to 30 degree temperature differences. The sensors can actually measure temperature differences of less than 1 degree. A sting operation in Salem results in the arrest of an Akron man. 31-year-old Christopher Tarter is charged with counts including compelling prostitution, attempted unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, and importuning. The Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force apprehended Tarter when he arrived at an agreed-upon meeting spot to have sex with a 15-year-old girl and her mother. The meeting had been set up through an online ad. Tarter is in the Columbiana County Jail, awaiting a preliminary hearing next week. A man has requested blood evidence be omitted from his trial on charges of aggravated vehicular homicide, aggravated vehicular assault, and OVI. 66-year-old Walter Bolt of Struthers pleaded not guilty to causing a crash that killed a woman and one of her children. Bolt is being held in the Mahoning County Jail on $250,000 bond. 44-year-old Angela Brown of New Middletown was northbound on Route 170 near New Middletown March 3rd when her car was hit by a southbound pickup driven by Bolt. Brown was pronounced dead at the scene. 15-year-old Jason Daff died, and her 12-year-old son was seriously injured. Bolt's blood alcohol level was reportedly 0.215. A motion filed Monday says the blood evidence was not collected according to state law. A Columbiana man faces having his bond revoked after allegedly contacting a rape victim, a violation of the terms of his bond. Mahoning County prosecutors asked a judge to revoke bond for 46-year-old Matthew Nicholson. He's accused of sending a Facebook message to a victim May 29th. Nicholson was indicted in January on 3 charges of rape, as well as counts of aggravated drug possession, sexual battery, and receiving stolen property. The charges were filed after an investigation by the Mahoning County Sheriff's Office. Details have not been released. Nicholson's bond was set at $500,000 at arraignment in Common Pleas Court. It was reduced in February to $250,000, which he posted. Warren police are investigating after someone shot at children cutting grass Sunday afternoon. Officers responded to the 1800 block of Jackson Street for a reported gunfire around 4 p.m. A woman who was not home at the time told police her children were in the front yard mowing the lawn when a gray silver SUV drove by and someone began shooting at them. Officers found a shell casing in the driveway. Police obtained images of the suspect vehicle from a security camera. It's 85 degrees and Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
For your Wednesday afternoon, sunshine and a high around 87. Overnight, clouds will move in, a low near 66. Thursday, showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, a high around 80. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That one is driven to right field and deep. There it goes. See ya. Welcome back, Jazz Chisholm. It's 2-1 Yankees. Driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back to back by the Yankees, and they lead 3-1.
Center field, Friedel. At the wall. He made the catch, and the Reds win.
First pitch, Freeman. Lifts one the other way. Back goes Nimmo. Still back, still back. It is over. Freddie Freeman drives in Tommy Edman. The Dodgers come back and win it in 10.
All right. Well, our baseball team could not do the same last night. Guardians fall to the Yankees by the score of 3-2. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310, WDPN, streaming live at AM 1310, WDPN.com. Sean Devaney, 4:15 today from Athlon Sports. We'll talk a little NBA. We'll see what the Knicks are going to do about moving on from Tom Thibodeau. We'll check in and see what the Cavaliers' offseason will continue to look like. Anxious to have that conversation today with Sean. There's a lot of unknowns out there. He'll be coming on here at 4:15. Okay, real quick, high school baseball update from Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. It is still Medina 5, Glen Oak 4. Medina 5, Glen Oak 4. They are in the 6th inning at Thurman Munson Stadium. Also, I can tell you that the Green Bulldogs in action today, and they are not having a good day. Amherst Steel is really, really good. And last we heard was Amherst Steel 4 and Green 1. That was in the bottom of the 6th inning. So, a couple of our local teams not doing so hot right now, but hopefully the Eagles can turn it around. 5 o'clock first pitch today, Jackson in action. 5 o'clock today, Central Catholic in action, Lake Center Christian in action. Still looking for a Hoover update. They started at 2 today, and that game should be over by now, I would think, or pretty close to. High school games are about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 5 minutes. So we'll see what else is going on today. Guardians, Yankees, as we mentioned, game 2 tonight in New York. They'll play game 3 tomorrow, and then Guards will turn around, get on the Big Bird, and they'll come back home to take on the Houston Astros. Coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all 3 games up at Progressive Field. Also, tomorrow, Friday, your chance to win some Akron Rubber Ducks tickets to go check out the gang up at Canal Park. And don't forget, Shane Bieber of the Guardians going to have a rehab start Friday night for the Rubber Ducks up in Akron. So you might want to get your hands on some tickets for that as well. We got the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's your favorite music genre? What gets you going? Rock, pop, hip-hop, or country? You can take the quiz right now on all of our social media platforms. All right, let's talk a little NBA. One more day, we got to wait, and then the Thunder and the Pacers get ready to roll in OKC coming up here on Thursday night, game 1 of the NBA Finals. Cavaliers offseason underway. Guys are getting fired. Lots to get to. Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports. We're going to talk a little association hoops here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Sean, good afternoon. How we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing well. Boy, no rest for the wicked. I mean, the finals finally get underway tomorrow. Tibbs gets fired in New York. The Suns poach one of the assistants from the Cavaliers today. There's a lot going on. Let me start with the New York and Thibodeau getting fired. The news came down yesterday, almost right before I came on the air, and I had to squint and looked at it real funny for a little bit, and I said, okay, this is legit. I was shocked earlier, and then a little bit later on, I read some stuff. I thought, okay, well, I could maybe see. But I woke up today and I said, nah, I'm not buying it. I don't get it. Why they made that move. Why did they fire Tom Thibodeau, Sean?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. I mean, this is something that is sort of like the way the Knicks used to operate, before Leon Rose came in, where they would make some knee-jerk reactions, mostly fueled by the owner, Jim Dolan. But it seemed like since Leon Rose took over there 5-6 years ago, that they had put that behind them. They were going for stability. They were building.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a bit of a surprise. Now, there were a couple possibilities. The first one is just that what they've said is true, and that is that they've said they want to have a championship coach, and the implication there is that they don't think Thibodeau is that guy. Certainly, he hasn't won a championship, so there's some evidence that that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
The only other possibilities are that they have another coach in mind, that they have somebody in the offing that they want to bring in. What's come out of New York so far doesn't seem to indicate that that's the case, but that's one possibility. The other possibility is that they've got a player in mind. That they want to make a trade. They want to acquire somebody, perhaps a Kevin Durant, in the off season, and they didn't think Thibodeau was the guy to sort of oversee that. So those are the couple other possibilities. But I think the first one is at least a factor there. They just didn't think Thibodeau was the guy who's going to get them over the hump.
Sean, I'm going to go with you on your last point. I think there could be some player movement, whether it's something, and I think maybe that didn't jive with the way Tibbs wanted to do business, and I think maybe behind the curtain, that was the last thing. They said, okay, well, this isn't going to work long term, so they're going to show him the door. Piggybacking off of that, Sean, Giannis Antetokounmpo's name has been thrown out there. Obviously, Kevin Durant. There's some other kind of fringe stars maybe the Knicks would like to get their hands on. But as you know, in this league with the salary cap, you got to give to get. What would New York be willing to give up to make a big splash deal?
Yeah, and that's the real question mark is what they'd be willing to give up and what teams would be willing to take in return. So, it's easy to say, well, we'll trade you Karl Anthony Towns, but not every team is going to want Karl Anthony Towns. So that's going to be part of the issue. The Knicks also, don't forget, gave up 5 first-round draft picks to get Mikal Bridges, and the fact is that they just don't have the picks to go ahead and make a deal. If you want to get Giannis from Milwaukee, you're going to have to give them a lot of draft picks. They're going to have to rebuild. They're going to have to start fresh. They're going to want a lot of draft picks, and the Knicks just don't have them. That's why Durant is a much more realistic option. So you could make a trade that's built around Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think they want to do that. I do think that front office at least still has a lot of faith in Karl Anthony Towns. So I don't think they want to go there, but more likely is something built around, OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson. And then, maybe a couple of the young players who didn't get much of a look under Tom Thibodeau, and whatever draft capital the Knicks can offer. That's probably what they're looking to move if they're going to make any kind of blockbuster deal here.
Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports, covers the NBA big time, but we got him here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Sean, what pieces in your mind are the Knicks away from taking the next step? And that would be to get to the finals and then maybe to win it. What do they need to add to that mixing bowl to get them to the next level?
Yeah, I'm not sure that they needed all that much, and that's why I think a lot of people didn't think that this move was coming. That they could see the progress. They had some ill-timed injuries and things like that, and so I think there was a sense that if you just kind of stayed the course, especially with the East sort of generally taking a step back, that you might be in position to get back here next year and advance. Maybe with some smaller moves around the edges. Obviously, they need another big man. They need a little more versatility. They need to be able to defend better. If you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson on the floor together, that's two defensive weak spots, and we saw that the Knicks had a hard time covering up for that. So they've either got to find ways to better stagger those guys, or to get better defensive players who can cover up what they're lacking. Most likely a shot blocking big man, that sort of thing. So that's where they are. I don't think they're that far, especially in the Eastern Conference, from being an NBA Finals team. And again, that's why that's one of the real surprises of this whole thing.
Sean, one more on the Knicks, and we'll skedaddle out of there. We'll talk a little Cavs and go a little NBA Finals. I read a story earlier today, and the article published 4 names that thought might be maybe in the Knicks' wheelhouse to be their head coach. I said yesterday, Michael Malone, everybody thinks that. I thought that would be their number one guy. But I saw Jay Wright, John Calipari, Jeff Van Gundy. Who else is out there maybe that they might want to talk to?
Yeah, I mean, those are certainly some of the big names, and I'm not sure that those guys are realistic. I think you call Jeff Van Gundy and at least see what's there. I don't think he really wants. I mean, it's been a while since Jeff has been the head man on a sideline, and there's some question about whether he really wants to really wants to do that. So I don't think that's real. Jay Wright is to me, if you're going to hire a college coach, that's the only guy who you could get for the Knicks. Because of the relationship to the Villanova players, but also just because he's a guy who has some experience coaching NBA players. I mean, don't forget that he was with USA today, USA basketball in the Olympics, so he has a lot of experience with those kinds of guys. So he'd really be the only one. I've seen Danny Hurley. I have a hard time believing that. I think that a couple guys who have won championships, Mike Budenholzer and Frank Vogel, who are maybe not the most exciting guys, but those are guys who I would assume that the Knicks would at least want to talk to. Of course, Johnny Bryant was mentioned there as well, given his links to the Knicks front office. So there's a few names out there, but I'm like you. I thought it was going to be Mike Malone or bust, and it doesn't seem to be that way at this point.
Jay Wright to me has got the makeup. That's the kind of guy I want. I wanted when Ohio State got rid of Holtman, I wanted Ohio State to go hard after Jay Wright, but he was content being behind the camera doing some TV. If the Knicks come a call, maybe he'll listen. I don't know, but we'll certainly find out. All right, let's switch our attention out to the Cavaliers in their offseason now, which has been underway for a little over 3 weeks, almost a month now. Everything has kind of calmed down a little bit, and now they got to get into action and put together a plan for the offseason and maybe make some moves. We'll see. Do you see the Cavaliers, A, making any kind of a big splash that's within the salary cap restrictions, or B, do they run it back with almost everybody intact again?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough summer for them because they're likely to lose Ty Jerome, just because of being in that second apron, and they've given out these extensions that they're all coming home to roost at this point. Mm-hmm. The DeAndre Hunter trade was that was the move, and that sort of set this team in stone, and so it becomes really difficult to make any kind of deal. Really, Darius Garland is the only piece that you've got who could potentially be on the move. And there'd be some logic to that just because, you want to maybe have a better defensive backcourt with Donovan Mitchell. You could, is a little easier to replace than Donovan Mitchell, a little easier to replace than pretty much anybody else that they would make the deal. And he's, he is eligible for an extension for 2 years and $128 million. They're not going to give him that. I'd be shocked if they did. But the fact that he's getting up near that extension time, that's the time you want to try to trade somebody if you can. So, he to me, he's really the only guy who makes any sense for them to move, and I'm not sure they're going to go that way.
Does a Garland for Jalen Suggs, does that move the meter for you at all, or anybody else you could maybe wheel and deal with if you're gonna move Darius, what you would maybe try to get back in return?
Yeah, I mean, to me, look, Garland's a better player than Jalen Suggs. He just is. So the question becomes, is it a better fit? Is it a better fit for you? And that's what it comes down to is if the Cavaliers make a move, they're probably not going to get better in terms of talent and how they look on paper. It's going to be about fit and maybe can we save some money here? And that's not them being cheap. That's, they're in a situation now where they've spent enough to where, they're going to have to start giving up draft picks, where their draft pick in 2033 is going to be frozen. So, they're going to have to look at some moves around the edges to see if there's ways to A, save money, and B, still be a team that has a good fit. The Karl Anthony Towns trade is a good example. What the Knicks and Timberwolves did, where the Timberwolves had to trade him to get out of their financial mess, and they wind up trading him to the Knicks. They get Randall and DiVincenzo, save a little bit of money, and they wind up being a better team for it too. So that's the kind of thing that that you could potentially see the Cavs do, but that's going to be a tough deal to find.
Sean Devaney is our guest. Check him out. Athlon Sports does a great job covering everything in the NBA. Speaking of, the finals are finally going to commence tomorrow night. Game 1. Big favorites, man. I mean, I cannot believe the amount of money you got to plunk down just for the Oklahoma City just to win the series. It's like the experts don't think Indiana has a chance. I disagree, Sean. I think just their heart, in their chemistry and their coaching and their will and their spunk, I got them winning at least 2 games here. What do you say?
I agree with you. I mean, people have made the very big mistake of writing off this team in each of the last 2 rounds. And, certainly in Cleveland, I don't think anybody takes them too lightly. And certainly in New York, they don't now either. This is a team that has a certain level of toughness, has a certain level of grit, but also, they're going to play their way. They're going to play their style. And chances are they're going to make you play their style more often than you want to. And that's what they did against the Cavs. That's what they did against the Knicks, sort of on a macro level. They just forced their pace on you. And in the playoffs, teams aren't used to that. So that's going to be their approach. The problem that they have is that Oklahoma City can play fast. I mean, they can do that, and they can do it in some instances better than the Pacers do. So in a 7-game series, I'd have a hard time seeing the Pacers winning 4 games. At the same time, I can't see them losing 4 in a row or losing 4 out of 5. I think this is definitely a 6-game series in my view. I just think that the things that the Pacers do, if their shots are on, you're just not going to beat them. And they've shown that throughout the postseason. So
what do you think the ratings will be like? A lot of folks are poo-pooing because of the small market and everything. I'm hoping that a lot of people tune in to watch, because I think if you can get even the casual fan in front of the set for 1 game or a half, I think they're going to like what they see, and I think they might stick around. How do you think this plays out?
Yeah, this is sort of where the rubber hits the road for the NBA, because the NBA has been saying for, about 15 years now that it wants to be like the NFL, where anybody can come in and have a chance to win a championship year after year, and we get different champions. And, okay, you want that. Okay, now you've got Indiana and Oklahoma City, 2 of the, 5 smallest markets in the NBA. Are the TV sponsors, the broadcasters going to be okay with that? And is that going to be something that really works out in terms of people watching? I agree with you. I hope people do, because I think that both of these teams are pretty exciting to watch, pretty fun to watch, a lot of compelling storylines. But this is to me, it's also dangerous territory for the league, because if this doesn't work, if this is a disaster, then they're gonna have to start thinking about the way they've constructed it. Because one thing that they've done, it's not so much the small markets, it's also the fact that they've taken away the ability of a team to really have a dynasty, even like the Spurs. Like you can't have that anymore. And so you're not gonna. So I wonder, as much as the league was against those dynasties, I think they did drive ratings, because people wanted to see, these teams that they were familiar with. They wanted to see, I hate this team, I want to watch them lose, or that I love this team, I want to watch them win. Yeah,
it's good to have a villain every once in a while. Sean, before I let you go, I was doing a little digging on a couple of Vegas books. The odds for the Knicks to hire their new coach, Michael Malone, is plus 125. Johnny Bryant is next at plus 400. Yeah. Jay Wright, Mike Budenholzer, Rick Brunson are all at plus 1,500. So you're right on there, brother.
God help them. God help them if they hire Rick Brunson. I mean, there's already a lot of players who are like kind of roll their eyes at the fact that Rick Brunson is one of their assistant coaches. If they make him the head coach, oh my goodness.
You imagine that?
You're going to get some revolts there, no question.
That would be a circus. Sean, I appreciate the knowledge, man. Anytime you come on, it's a lot of fun. And enjoy the NBA Finals. Take care.
All right, thanks, Sam.
You got it. Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports. You can check him out on X, and does a great job covering the NBA. Yeah, we kind of thought alike there a little bit, especially on the finals. We both think it's going to go 6. We both have Oklahoma City winning, but I think the Pacers might end up being a pain in the neck for most of this series. All right, we're going to take a break. News and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We're halfway home on this Wednesday. Local high school baseball scoreboard update when we get back on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The number of victims in a firebombing attack in a Boulder, Colorado park has climbed to 15 plus a dog. Boulder County officials announced the update today, but didn't immediately respond to questions about the new victims. Authorities say Mohammed Solomon had 18 Molotov cocktails, but threw just 2 during Sunday's attack, in which he yelled, "Free Palestine." Officials say he had planned to kill all of the roughly 20 participants, demonstrating for the release of Israeli hostages. Solomon is an Egyptian national who has been living in the U.S. illegally. He faces federal hate crime and state attempted murder charges. Federal officials say his wife and children have been taken into custody and could be quickly deported. An additional arrest has been made in the case concerning an attempted bombing of a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California. Authorities say the suspect, 25-year-old Guy Bartkus, had help and was testing different bombing materials with his alleged accomplice. Daniel Park is accused of also shipping the bombing materials. FBI Assistant Director in charge at the Los Angeles field office, Akil Davis, also says both had extreme ideologies against people having children.
What we know about Park is that he did have similar ideology to Guy Bartkus. He posted about these ideologies on internet forums dating all the way back to 2016.
Bartkus was the only fatality in the bombing last month, but people at the clinic were injured. President Trump says he spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin today, and that the Russian leader told him very strongly that he will respond to Ukraine's weekend drone attack on Russian airfields. The conversation played out as the deadlock over the war drags on, and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is dismissing Russia's ceasefire proposal. Trump said in a social media post that his lengthy call with Putin was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. It's the first time Trump has weighed in on Ukraine's attack inside Russia. 4 days into hurricane season, meteorologists are watching not a tropical storm, but a huge beige blob on radar images of the Atlantic and Caribbean. ABC's Jim Ryan is in Texas, where the dust has yet to settle.
Like a tropical storm, a massive cloud of Saharan desert dust has been carried by upper-level winds thousands of miles west to the U.S. In the next few days along the Gulf Coast, people with pre-existing lung conditions will see it and feel it.
We would expect difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, cough, and increased sneezing.
Houston physician Jennifer Ukwu, one benefit of these occasional Saharan dust clouds is that they prevent tropical storms from forming. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
It's 85 degrees and Alliance at 432. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny skies for the remainder of your Wednesday afternoon with a high around 87. Clouds will move in overnight, lows dropping to 66. Thursday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, a high around 80. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
The Canton Greek Fest returns June 5th, 6th, and 7th, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. each day, featuring indoor and outdoor dining, the St. Harolumbus Hellenic dancers, cooking demos, kids' playground, wine tasting, drive-through, and so much more. Outdoor dance party on Thursday with DJ Puff. Friday night is Greek night with DJ Vasilios and professional fireworks show on Saturday night. Visit CantonGreekFest.com for all the details, menus, and more. Canton Greek Fest, June 5, 6, and 7 at 251 25th Street Northwest in Canton.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills, land your next job, or refine your resume, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We will provide everything you need to succeed, from resume assistance to job search guidance and everything in between. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back here on 1310 WDPN, streaming live at 1310WDPN.com. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. Don't forget, you can always text the program at 330-924-7088, and you can leave some comments for us on our social media platforms, as we love to interact with you every day, 3 until 6, right here on 1310 WDPN. All right, boy, oh boy. Not looking good today for our area baseball teams. Lakewood beat North Canton Hoover today, 3-1. Seventh inning at Munson, Medina leads Glen Oak 8-4. Seventh inning, Green is losing to Amherst Steel by the score of 4-1. Central Catholic plays at 5 o'clock today. Jackson plays at 5 o'clock today. And Lake Center Christian, I had two different start times for them. One was 2 o'clock, one was 5. So we'll try to roust up a score on Lake Center Christian, whether it was a 2 o'clock game or if they're going to start here at 5 o'clock. So we're on the verge of losing 3 today. So no final on Glen Oak yet. Still time, but they're losing 8-4 in the 7th inning. Hopefully the Eagles can make a little comeback. I want to thank Athlon Sports NBA writer Sean Devaney for talking some NBA with us here today on the Sam Bourquin Show. I'm calling it now. Michael Malone is going to be the new coach of the Knicks. I'm calling it. It's over. Here, see here? I'm ripping these up, all these papers, all this stuff. It's over. Done. Malone, one more. There you go. He's going to be the new coach. We'll see. Phoenix hired their new coach today, if you missed it, Jordan Ott. You may say, what that name sound, Jordan? Yeah, Jordan Ott was a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers staff with Kenny Atkinson this past year. So he is gone, and he is now the new coach of the Phoenix Suns. What's your favorite music genre? That's our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. A, rock, B, pop, C, hip-hop, or D, country. Let us know your favorite music genre. Friday, we will be giving away Akron Rubber Ducks tickets. You can catch a game up at Canal Park. We're going to be doing that every Friday here, at least for the next several weeks. So we invite you to stick around for that. Tomorrow is a what? What is it tomorrow? You bet. It's a 3-question Thursday on the show. We always look forward to that. And we are going to give you a chance to win some tickets to the 2025 National High School Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremonies here in Canton. And we're going to start to give those tickets away tomorrow on the show. And that event's coming up here June 12th or is it June 14th? I got to get clearance on that. But we'll have some tickets to give away for that. So your chance to win here tomorrow between 3 and 6 on 1310 WDPN. Now, I did not ask my producer yet about his favorite music genre. So I'm going to throw it out there to him now. Is it rock, pop, hip-hop, or country? Your favorite, and why? Don't tell me. You're going to go off the board on me.
I'm going to have to, because there's no way I could ever pick one genre of music.
Okay. All right.
But I think the best answer I could give you is a combination of rock and hip-hop, because I grew up listening to Linkin Park, which
I love Linkin Park.
Which is the combination, the ultimate combination of rock and hip-hop. So, yeah, I like my rock music with a little bit more of a beat to it. But yeah.
I'm a big Linkin Park fan.
I will give you the answer of AC.
Okay.
A and C.
You're going to go rock, hip-hop.
Rock, hip-hop.
Rock hop. All right. Yeah, I'm a big Linkin Park fan.
Oh,
I didn't used to be, and I don't know what it was that turned me, but I love Linkin Park. I really do. Now, I've never seen them in concert. Would I stand out if I went to a Linkin Park concert? Would I be like, hey, what's that guy doing here?
Probably not. No, my mom is the reason I'm a Linkin Park fan. So
okay.
She got me hooked.
I mean, I'm not going to, I'm not going to jump into the mosh pit and do all that. I'm the boring concert guy.
I would assume Linkin Park concerts have kind of tamed down a bit, especially from like 20 years ago.
Okay.
I could see that. They're a very different band.
I'm boring concert guy, and probably because I'm older now. But I would go, if I was to go to a concert tonight, I would just go and sit and watch.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't stand up once. I probably wouldn't clap along. I sure as hell wouldn't sing along.
Oh, no, I'd be singing along.
And I paid money to hear the guy or girl sing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear 15,000 people shrieking in the background. I didn't pay to hear that. If I want to hear that, I'll go sit outside in my neighborhood. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the artist doing their song. But I would just sit there and enjoy it. I would take it all in. It would probably look like I wasn't enjoying it, but I am. That's just me.
I would have the same problem.
I'm not, same when I go to, this might really shock some people, but when I go to sport, see, there's a different thing. When I go to a sporting events for work, you've got to settle yourself. You're there to do a job. You're not there to cheer. You're not there to root. Well, you're not supposed to anyway. And just do your job. Give your updates, get your interview, whatever you're doing. Take your videos, post them, whatever. Now, if I would go, it's weird because I find myself when I go on a working assignment, I find myself wanting to cheer. But when I go as a fan, I just kind of sit there. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense.
It's the same thing.
Why is because I'm not supposed to do it? I want to do it. Is it that thing?
Maybe, but I think part of it's like when you're eating or drinking something you really enjoy, you're savoring the flavor. You're living in the moment. You're experiencing the thing you enjoy. In the same way.
Whoa! Do we have a breaking news over there? Do we have a hotkey?
Yeah, we do.
Fire that thing up for me.
It's breaking news time.
Yeah. I guess we don't have it.
Oh, you mean audio?
Yeah.
My bad. No, I don't think we have. We have not lined anything up for that.
Okay, here we go.
We're going to work that out.
Breaking news from Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. The Glen Oak Golden Eagles scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. They have tied Medina 8-4. They've got the go-ahead run on third base with 2 outs. You have got to be kidding me. The Fighting Frisbees. Glen Oak has tied the game at 8 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Glen Oak and Medina at Thurman Munson Stadium. Holy smokes. What did I just tell you? What did I tell you? There's still a little bit of time. There's still a little bit of time. And the Golden Eagles have come back come on, get that run home and let's walk it off. Get that game winner. Glen Oak is the home team today, by the way. They were down 8-4 going into the 7th inning. It's 8-8. Eagles with runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Just get me one more. Can you imagine if Glen Oak comes back and wins that game? Ooh, I will be reaching out to Coach Frisbee to come on the show. You better believe it. Holy smokes. All right, come on, Glen Oak. Come all the way back. Now, I can tell you with certainty now that the Jackson game is not going to start on time. Okay, that is not going to happen. That was supposed to be a 5 o'clock first pitch, so that ball game is not going to start on time. Eagles and Medina, bottom of the 7th inning, are tied at 8. We will keep you posted. Green losing to Amherst Steel 4-1. That was in the 7th inning. And Hoover losing to Lakewood today by the score of 3-1. Central Catholic will play today over at Massillon at 5 o'clock. All right, the updates are coming in fast and furious. Medina got out of it. Shortstop made a great play on a ball up the middle. We are now going. Well, see, I thought Glen Oak was the home team. Somebody told me Glen Oak was the home team. Apparently not. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning now. Medina and Glen Oak are tied 8-8. It's never over until it's over. Old Yogi used to say that. Never over till it's over. All right. I got excited there a little bit. What were we even talking about? Oh, yeah, going to Lincoln Park and concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
music.
yeah, I got this breaking news, and I lost my mind. What a true professional would do, right? So, yeah. So you're a rock hip hop kind of guy.
That would be the basis for a lot of the things I listen to. So, yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm trying to correspond with 3 people at once here, all on different phones, and I'm trying to let them know that I received their messages, and I appreciate the updates coming in so we can pass those along to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I wanted to go back here just for a couple of minutes before we hit the break, and I was going to bring this up with Sean Devaney, our NBA guest today, but we just kind of ran out of time. And some of the names that have come up to maybe coach the Knicks, John Calipari was one. And then I also pulled off this article today, the history of college to NBA head coaches and how they did. Because I thought, okay, well, you're talking about Calipari. Okay, there's one. Jay Wright. That would be another to go, from college to pro. So I went back and I found a list. This is courtesy of Yahoo Sports. History of college to NBA coaches. There have been a total of 13 NBA head coaches that were hired directly from the college ranks. Only 2 lasted more than 4 years. Billy Donovan and Brad Stevens. Okay. None won a championship or even reached the NBA finals with their pro teams. Let me read the list of the NBA head coaches that came up direct from college. And I'll tell you how long they lasted there and what their 1-loss record was. It ain't pretty. And I'll start with the guy that we hired. John Beilein, remember? From the University of Michigan. The Cavaliers hired John Beilein. He didn't even make it through the season. 54 games in, that was it. He walked out. He was 14-40. Man, I forgot about that back in 2019. Freddie Hoiberg went to the Chicago Bulls from Iowa State. He actually lasted 4 years. He went 115 and 155. Billy Donovan went from Florida to Oklahoma City. Not bad. 5 seasons. He had a record of 243 and 157. Then Brad Stevens, the young up-and-comer from Butler. He went to the Boston Celtics. Remember that back in 2013. He lasted 8 seasons. Not bad. 354 wins, 282 losses. Now it's going to get ugly. Mike Montgomery. Remember the old Stanford coach? Then he was with Cal. He coached the Warriors in 2004 for a couple of years. He went 68 and 96. A lot of people don't even remember that. Reggie Theus coached the Sacramento Kings for 2 years. He was 44 and 62. Leonard Hamilton. Remember Leonard Hamilton? Recently of the Miami of Florida Hurricanes. Of course, he has stepped down. He coached Sacramento for 2 years. 44 and 62, was ousted halfway through his second year. I'm sorry. He was 19 and 63. That's even worse. 1 year out. Lon Kruger went to the Atlanta Hawks in 2000. Coached 3 years, 69 and 122. Tim Floyd from Iowa State to the Chicago Bulls. Have you heard that story before? He went 49 and 190. Bye-bye. Rick Pitino from Kentucky to the Boston Celtics. 4 years, 102 and 146. John Calipari, straight to the New Jersey Nets. Not good. 3 years, 72 and 112. PJ Carlesimo, Seton Hall to the Portland Trailblazers. 3 years, not bad. 137 and 109. And remember back in 1992, Jerry Tarkanian, yes, the Shark, the great Hall of Fame coach from UNLV. He took over the Spurs in 1992. He coached 20 games. Done. 9 and 11. 9 and 11. Medina gets a walk-off double. Bottom of the 7th inning. Medina beats Glen Oak 9-8. The Golden Eagles scored 4 in the 7th to tie it at 8. Medina gets a run on the bottom half. The Bees sting the Golden Eagles today 9-8. Oh, man, that's tough. That's a tough way to go. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Stay with us. Much more to come on the Sam Bourquin Show. It's all happening right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board. Get on board.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back. We've got about 7 minutes until we get you to the top of the hour with all the latest news and weather coming up here on 1310 WDPN. Hey, do us a favor. While you're in front of your phone, you got your computer, laptop, whatever you got going on there, device-wise. Do us a favor and go to Facebook. Search AM 1310 WDPN and check out our Facebook page. Give it a like, give it a follow, okay? And then I have another request. Just type in Q92 Sports on Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, check it out, give it a like, give it a follow, give it a share, okay? And then check us out on X, on AM 1310 WDPN and Q92 Sports. And then make sure you are a subscriber on our YouTube channel, okay? On the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Check that out. Be a subscriber. Get all the cool stuff. Get the alerts when we get breaking news, photos, videos, updates, guests, whatever's going on. It's a good way to go. Especially, we want to kind of get you in the mood, get you in the habit. We had our Wednesday board meeting today back in the Taj Mahal area, and high school football is like 90 days away. And I'm not trying to wish the summer away, especially with a day like today, but it's going to be here before you know it. So make sure you are in with us on all of our social media platforms, X, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, YouTube. We got you covered. We're going to get you ready for a busy fall. Obviously, lots of great stuff going on. We got the Hall of Fame activities will be coming up here pretty soon, right? Then we roll into high school football, high school hoops. We're going to be with you all winter long there. A lot of exciting things happening here. AM 1310 WDPN, Q92 Radio, Q92 Radio Sports. Check us out. Like, share, follow, comment. We appreciate it. You'll be glad you did, and make a big part of our family here. Okay? That's what we're all about. Getting it done. Kicking ass and taking names. That's what we do here. Okay? So welcome aboard. Make sure you're doing that. Check us out on all of your favorite social media platforms. All right. I cannot get over the list of some of these names. I'd forgotten so many coaches have gone from college to the NBA. Like, I completely forgot about John Beilein. Completely forgot about it. And he was the Cavs coach for a year. Completely forgot about him. I forgot about Mike Montgomery going to Golden State. Reggie Theus to Sacramento. How did Reggie Theus get that job in Sacramento? Huh? I forgot about Lon Kruger with the Hawks. I forgot about P.J. Carlesimo with the Blazers. He was there for 3 years. And I'll tell you what also about P.J. When he was at Seton Hall, Seton Hall, Now, they did make the national championship the one year. They had a guy by the name of John Morton, who I believe the Cavaliers drafted. And they played Michigan in the national championship Final Four. I believe that was I could be wrong here, but I believe that was at the old Kingdome in Seattle. And I don't quite remember the year, but I think it was Michigan Seton Hall at the Kingdome in Seattle for the national championship back in the day. And P.J. Carlesimo was the coach of the Seton Hall Pirates back in the day. High school baseball scoreboard update today, boys. Some tough losses. Medina walks it off in the bottom of the 7th. They beat Glen Oak today 9-8 after the Eagles had tied it with 4 in the top of the 7th inning, but Medina wins at 9-8. Lakewood beat Hoover today 3-1, and I believe Amherst Steel finished off Green. That was the score there was 4-1. So we have lost 3 of our teams today. Now we still got a couple still cooking. All right, Jackson will probably get underway here. I'm guessing that game's going to start about 5:20. 5:30 at Munson, so they're a little bit behind because the Glen Oak Medina game took a little longer. Canton Central Catholic due to start at 5 o'clock at Massillon. So good luck to the Polar Bears. Good luck to the Crusaders. I haven't seen anything on Lake Center Christian yet. I don't know if that was a 2P or a 5P game today, but when I see a score there, we'll be sure to pass that along to you. Now, Sammy, you're forgetting about softball. No, I'm not. Firestone Stadium in Akron this weekend. Perry will play Saturday morning. I hope I got this right. At 10 a.m. Jackson, I believe, plays Saturday at 5:30. Again, all the tournament games up at Firestone Stadium in Akron, OHSAA softball championships. Best of luck to the Panthers. Best of luck to the Bears up in Akron. So we get you all caught up there, I believe, on what's going on with baseball today, and, of course, softball coming up here over the weekend. All right, set the table here for the 5 o'clock hour. We'll check in on the Guards a little bit, see if they can come back from that 3-2 setback to the New York Knicks last night. NFL rookie jersey sales. Who do you think is on top of that list? Let me give you a hint. He wears orange and brown. We'll talk about that. We'll get back into the NBA Finals. We'll get back into the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day, and we'll keep our eye on our other high school baseball teams here, cranking things up here in the 5 o'clock hour. All that and more to come. Keep it right here, everybody. It's the Sam Bourquin Show at AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live, AM1310WDPN.com.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump's big, beautiful bill agenda is facing opposition from his own party, Democrats, and now Elon Musk.
Having already called the bill a disgusting abomination, Elon Musk is now urging Americans to call their members of Congress to kill it. He writes, "We need a new bill that doesn't grow the deficit." House Speaker Mike Johnson tells reporters,
"We don't have time for a brand new bill."
Johnson argues Congress must act to prevent the 2017 tax cuts from expiring. The White House rejects the Congressional Budget Office's view that those tax cuts would be a major driver of future deficits.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. The suspect charged in the Boulder firebombing attack at a Jewish rally is due back in court tomorrow to face more charges. Authorities say the number of victims has increased to 15. A Washington state man is accused of being a co-conspirator in the Palm Springs car bombing outside a fertility clinic. Federal prosecutors say Daniel Park allegedly provided material support to primary suspect Guy Bartkus in the car bombing. Bartkus died in that blast. This is ABC News.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale, which means if you're shopping for summer, you can get insider deals on our best brands, even ones that aren't usually on sale, like an extra 30% off Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein, Levi's, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance. And with Father's Day just around the corner on June 15th, it's a great time to shop for Dad. Stop by Macy's today and walk out with the perfect gift. Don't miss Friends and Family. Going on now, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Home Depot has fast, free delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad do more this Father's Day, because Dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Power Dad's doing with Ryobi cordless outdoor power tools from the Home Depot, like the Ryobi 40-volt string trimmer kit for $159. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:02. This news a service of Bonfort Glass. The retrial of an Alliance man accused in the murder of a 17-year-old girl has been delayed again. Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Maureen Sweeney today granted a continuance for the case of 55-year-old Robert Moore. Assistant Attorney General Dan Caceres asked for the postponement, saying he needs more time to prepare. He received the case in January after prosecutor Lynn Morrow sought a special prosecutor to avoid a conflict of interest. Moore was found not guilty in the June 2009 disappearance of Glenna White of Smith Township. Sweeney declared a mistrial in 2022 after jurors were unable to agree on a lesser charge of murder. There have been multiple mistrials and continuances since then. A former Canton City Schools custodian who pleaded guilty to grand theft has his charge dismissed. 44-year-old Eric Snyder of Sherrodsville pleaded guilty in August to stealing over $22,000 from Local 107 of the Ohio Association of Public School Employees. The money was taken between June 2022 and May of last year. Snyder was sentenced in Stark County Common Pleas Court to complete a theft diversion program. He has also repaid the stolen $22,000. North Canton City Council will consider legislation to repeal fire and EMS levies. The measure will appear on Monday's agenda for a first reading. Council pledged to repeal the levies if voters passed a 0.5% increase of the city's income tax. The tax hike was approved in the May primary. The repeal would become law and take effect within 30 days after the third reading. The repository reports Finance Director Gina Elleback would then file paperwork with the Stark County Budget Commission to remove the city's $1.5 million fire levy and $3.3 million EMS levy from the tax rolls. Also appearing on Monday's agenda is a proposal to borrow $16 million from bond investors to pay for construction of a new fire station. A Brimfield Township man who allegedly killed his wife is on trial. Opening statements in the case of 37-year-old Eric Cunningham were presented Tuesday in Portage County Common Pleas Court. Witnesses were called by the prosecution to testify. More testimony was scheduled today. Cunningham was indicted on charges of murder and felonious assault in the December 2018 killing of 33-year-old Lacey Cunningham. She was found dead in the garage at the couple's home on Hazelnut Drive. Police said she was shot to death on New Year's Eve. Eric Cunningham turned himself in 4 days later. An appeal held up the trial but was denied in 2023. A specialized plane equipped with advanced sensors could have helped authorities avoid blowing open 5 rail tank cars and burning their toxic contents after the 2023 East Palestine train derailment. Single-engine Cessna wasn't called into action until the night before the cars filled with vinyl chloride were breached because officials with the EPA on the ground didn't fully understand the aircraft's capabilities. The report by the EPA Inspector General says the agency's on-scene coordinator didn't know the plane's sensors can measure temperature differences of less than 1 degree. Norfolk Southern has said OxyVinyl's officials offered conflicting information that left the railroad's experts worried about a dangerous chemical reaction. An Akron man is in the Columbiana County Jail, charged with compelling prostitution, attempted unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, importuning, and other counts. 31-year-old Christopher Carter allegedly used an online ad to set up a meeting for sex with a 15-year-old girl and her mother. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for next week. Carter was arrested at the arranged meeting spot in Salem Monday during a sting operation by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. A man accused of causing a fatal two-vehicle crash near New Middletown wants blood evidence excluded from his trial. 66-year-old Walter Bolt of Struthers filed the motion Monday in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. He pleaded not guilty to aggravated vehicular homicide, aggravated vehicular assault, and OVI. Bolt was arrested last month. His motion says the evidence was not collected according to state law. The Highway Patrol says Bolt's pickup was southbound on Route 170 March 3rd when it struck a northbound car driven by 44-year-old Angela Brown of New Middletown. Bolt's blood alcohol level was .215. Brown died at the scene. Her 15-year-old son, Jason Daff, died at a hospital. A 12-year-old son suffered serious injuries. A woman faces charges after a drunken driving crash involving a Hubbard police officer. The Highway Patrol says 37-year-old Latoya Gibson of Farrell, Pennsylvania, rear-ended a patrol car driven by Officer George Stamos. The wreck occurred around 3 a.m. today at Chestnut Ridge and Wick Campbell Road. Stamos was stopped at the intersection. He suffered minor injuries. The patrol says Gibson was intoxicated. She was arrested and charged with OVI and assured clear distance. Drugs are also a suspected factor in the wreck. Prosecutors have asked a Mahoning County judge to revoke bond for a man charged with 3 counts of rape. 46-year-old Matthew Nicholson of Columbiana allegedly sent a Facebook message May 29th to a victim, despite a condition of his bond being that he have no contact with them. Nicholson also is charged with aggravated drug possession, sexual battery, and receiving stolen property. He was indicted in January. Nicholson's bond was set at $500,000 at arraignment in common pleas court. It was reduced in February to $250,000, which he posted. Details of the charges have not been released. They were filed after an investigation by the Mahoning County Sheriff's Office. Someone shot at children mowing a lawn in Warren, and police want to know who's responsible. Incident happened around 4 p.m. Sunday in the 1800 block of Jackson Street. Officers responded to a report of gunshots. A woman told police her children were in the front yard cutting the grass when a gray silver SUV drove by and someone began shooting at them. She was not home at the time. Officers recovered a shell casing from the driveway. They also obtained images of the suspect vehicle from a security camera. An investigation continues. Belmont County Prosecutor Kevin Flanagan announced the conviction of Dalton Ray for obstructing justice in the homicide of Angela and Tom Strusian. Ray was found guilty of lying to investigators. According to Flanagan, detectives from Ohio traveled to Oklahoma to interview Ray twice, searching for any information that he may have involving the deaths. Detectives obtained an arrest warrant to bring Ray back to Ohio. Ray, who was already on probation in Texas, fled but was eventually apprehended. Flanagan's office worked with Texas authorities to return Ray to Belmont County after he finished his sentence in Texas. He is scheduled for sentencing June 24th. A true crime podcaster convicted of intimidation is asking an Erie County judge to reverse the decision. Attorneys argue Ashley Ford's Facebook post is protected by the First Amendment and is not a threat that should warrant her conviction. The firm also claims the conviction has had a chilling effect. According to court documents, the September 2023 Facebook post made allegations against multiple city officials in Norwalk, including Mayor David Light, the city's law director and prosecutor, the city's safety and service director, and former police chief. The law firm claims the Facebook post for which Ford was convicted consists entirely of classical political speech and does not contain any content that could be reasonably construed as a true threat. Each conviction carries a possible sentence of 9 to 36 months in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. Ford is due for sentencing July 16th. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 42,462, down 57 points. The Nasdaq Composite rose 62 points, ending at 19,460, and the S&P 500 ended the day 1 point higher at 5,971. It's 84 degrees and Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Bonfort Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonfort Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonfort's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonfort's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonfort Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonfort's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonfort's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonfort Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny skies for the afternoon with a high near 87. For the overnight, increasingly cloudy skies with a low dipping to 66. Showers and thunderstorms for your Thursday afternoon, a high near 80. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That one is driven to right field and deep. There it goes. See ya. Welcome back, Jazz Chisholm. It's 2-1 Yankees. Driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back to back by the Yankees, and they lead 3-1.
Center field, Friedel. At the wall. He made the catch, and the Reds win.
First pitch, Freeman lifts one the other way. Back goes Nimmo. Still back. It is over. Freddie Freeman drives in Tommy Edman. The Dodgers come back and win it in 10.
Boy, I tell you what, there's been some exciting games between the Mets and the Dodgers. Like the Yankees-Dodgers series was kind of, but this, telling you what, man, I've watched the last two nights. I think I watched the game on MLB Network Monday. It was on FS1 last night. I'm sure it's on tonight somewhere. But that's been some pretty good baseball there. The Mets and the Dodgers out in Chavez Ravine. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 5:13 on your Wednesday. What a beautiful day. Boy, you get up on a day like today, and you get up, your feet hit the floor, you go to the window, or you go downstairs and you look out, whatever room you can look out, and you're like, man, this looks like the kind of day I want to get outside and get up and get moving. And today was certainly that kind of day. Hopefully you've been able to enjoy it. A lot of you now I know are just getting out of the office. Hang out with us here on 1310. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Telephone lines are wide open for you right now at 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. If you don't have time to call in, we understand. You're busy. You can text the program at 330-924-7088. The text line is always open for you.
Speaking of the text line, Sam,
what do we got?
we got one more from Buck. He is asking you about October playoff baseball. He said, who's your starting shortstop, second baseman, and right fielder for Cleveland?
He still wants that answer, huh?
He still wants that answer, man. He's texting about it.
Buck, I have no idea, because you know how the Guardians do business? They're probably going to go with what they have. And if they are forced to make some kind of a move, it'll probably be somebody from the minor leagues. They're not going to go out and get anybody. Now, I did read the email that you sent over, and I'm a little intrigued by possibly making a deal for the young man from the Toronto Blue Jays, Bo Bichette. You could maybe talk me into that, but I can't give up on Gabriel Arias yet. There's something about this kid. I think you need to keep letting him play. Keep letting him play. Get him 4 at-bats every night. Throw him out there at shortstop and let him play. I know that it's in there. And he shows it to us in glimpses. He'll make a couple of great plays. He'll get a couple of hits, and then he'll disappear for like 2 or 3 games. And then he'll get hot again, and then he'll disappear. He just needs to be consistent. And that's all part about being a what? That's all part about being a professional. That's all part about doing it at the major league level. It's really hard to get there. It's even harder to stay. And I know there was a lot of talk about Gabby Arias, getting him from the Padres a couple of years ago. I still think the kid can play. Maybe I'm a little bit more patient with him. I don't know why. I just think he just needs something. I don't know what it is. I know Stephen Vogt's doing a nice job with him. I don't know. Maybe he needs to work a little bit harder behind the scenes. I don't know. I like the kid. I want to give him every chance there is to make it and to be an everyday player for us in the major leagues for the next 5 to 10 years. I don't know if the Guardians are going to be as patient. Usually I'm not the patient one. Usually I want to move guys right away. But for some reason with Gabby Arias, I want to keep him around. I think the kid can. I think he's gonna be okay. He's just got to get a little bit more consistent. Now, as far as right field and second base, Buck, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know, but again, we will continue to have these discussions the day after our baseball team scores 1 run, scores 2 runs, gets shut out. Now, if they go out tonight and they put 5 or 6 on the board, we won't talk about it tomorrow. If they get shut out tonight and they leave 10 guys on base and they strike out 10 times, then we'll be having this discussion again tomorrow. So long story short, second base, shortstop, right field for the Guardians. I don't know about second and right. I want to keep giving Gabriel Arias every opportunity there is to go out there and play ball every day. And I hope that the Guardians do that. I hope that they do. Guards and Yankees tonight coming up a little bit after 7 in the Bronx. What's our record now? 32-27. We lost a half a game yesterday. Detroit's 40-22. So we're 6.5 out. Twins actually leapfrogged us. They're in second place now. The Twinkies are 33-27. The Royals are starting to fade away a little bit. They're 32-29. They are 7.5 games out of first place. Meanwhile, Yankees are 37-22. They're 6.5 in front of Tampa Bay, 6.5 in front of Toronto. The Red Sox are 10 games out. So sad. And then there's Baltimore, 14 out at 23-36. Now, don't forget now the Astros are coming to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're in first place. Astros are 33-27, a half game over Seattle, 4.5 over Texas, 5 over the Angels, and the A's have just completely gone into the tank. They are 11 games out now. They are 23-39. So we'll see what the Guards do tonight. We'll talk a little Guards tomorrow. Matty Underwood's going to join us tomorrow at 4:35 from Cleveland Guardians TV. Matt Underwood tomorrow here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll dissect the Guardians and Yankees series, and we'll take a preview of the Astros-Cleveland series when they come to town here coming up this weekend. Okay, we're going to get to the NFL top-selling rookie jerseys, but I promised everybody I would give you an update here on the high school baseball scores from today, and it's not been a good day for Stark County. It's been a tough day, heartbreaking day for Glen Oak. Medina beat Glen Oak today, 9-8. Medina got a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th inning to win. Now, Glen Oak had an early lead. I believe they were up 4-1. Medina scored 7 to take an 8-4 lead. We go to the 7th inning. Eagles are down 4. They push 1, 2, 3, 4 across. The game is tied at 8. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Medina gets a walk-off double, and the Bees beat the Golden Eagles 9-8. That's a tough way to go, man. That's a tough way to go. Hoover losing to Lakewood today. Vikings on the short end there by the score of 3-1. Just couldn't get any action on the bases today. So Hoover's season comes to an end. Green loses their regional semifinal to Amherst Steel today, so the Green Bulldog season has come to an end. So now, Jackson to play at Thurman Munson Stadium. That game was supposed to start at 5, obviously did not because of the length of the previous game with Glen Oak and Medina. So the Jackson game, they're probably just getting underway at Thurman Munson Stadium. Central Catholic was due to start at 5 o'clock today against Norwayne. Waynedale and Mooney played at 2. The Crusaders were to start at 5 o'clock today at Ducky Schroeder Field. So as soon as we get some score updates that start coming in before we leave you at 6 o'clock, we'll let you know what's going on with the area high school baseball. Softball this weekend, the state Final Four at Firestone Stadium in Akron. We are well represented there. Perry, Jackson, Carrollton, all playing softball this weekend. All right, best of luck to the Warriors, the Panthers, and the Polar Bears as they get after it this weekend, looking for that state championship in softball at Firestone up in Akron. So we got all that, and we'll keep you covered here on 1310 WDPN. And, of course, check us out on the Facebook page, Q92 Sports as well. Okay, we are coming up on 524. We'll take a break. When we get back, one of our favorite times of the day, it's On This Day in Sports History. And then in the 5:30 block, we'll get you into the top-selling NFL rookie jerseys, how Shedeur Sanders, number 12, is doing. We'll see how Cam Ward is doing. And we'll take an early peek, a way too early peek at some of the preseason games and maybe some of the big ones early on as far as what we should look for with some of the teams. And 2 of these 10 games involve, you guessed it, the Cleveland Browns. So we'll take a break. We'll come back on this day in sports history right around the corner on 1310 WDPN.
The Canton Greek Fest returns June 5th, 6th, and 7th, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. each day, featuring indoor and outdoor dining, the St. Haralambas Hellenic dancers, cooking demos, kids playground, wine tasting, drive-through, and so much more. Outdoor dance party on Thursday with DJ Puff. Friday night is Greek night with DJ Vasilios and professional fireworks show on Saturday night. Visit CantonGreekFest.com for all the details, menus, and more. Canton Greek Fest, June 5, 6, and 7 at 251 25th Street Northwest in Canton.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone. Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon
and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
It's that time on this day in sports history here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Here we go. On this day in 1927, the U.S. defeated Britain in the first Ryder Cup International Golf Championship. On this day in 1940, Forbes Field hosted its first night game. Pirates beat the Braves 14-2. On this day in 1974, Henry Aaron set a National League record when he hit his 16th career Grand Slam. On this day in 1988, Steffi Graf won the French Open for the second consecutive year. 1997, Michael Irvin of the Cowboys announced that he was putting his NFL career on hold. Irvin later retracted his announcement and returned to the game. On this day in 2000, Julius Irving reported his 19-year-old son Corey missing. His body was found on July 6th, 2000. On this day in 2000, Fred McGriff of the Rays got his 2000th career hit. And now it's time for the audio portion of On This Day in History. 1964, Sandy Koufax threw his third no-hitter. Here was his game winner in the 65 World Series. Old Lefty was on the mound.
He did it. Sandy Koufax gets his 10th strikeout, his second consecutive shutout of the Twins. On Monday on a 4-hitter, today on a 3-hitter. Every pitcher, of course, likes to finish a game with a strikeout. This was, of course, not a game. This was the 7th game of the World Series.
How about that? Sandy Koufax. He pitched Tuesday. He pitched Thursday. He pitched Friday. Those guys didn't matter. They went out and threw the ball. That was the World Series winner back in 65. On this day in 1974, big day for the NFL, they granted the Seattle Seahawks a franchise. And just a couple of years later, they would open up against the Arizona Cardinals at the Kingdome, but they would come up on the short end.
Is the unchallenged hero of Pacific Northwest football fans. But despite his heroic efforts, few expansion teams have ever won their first NFL game. The comeback fell short.
Seahawks would fall to the Cardinals at the Kingdome that day behind Jim Zorn, 30-24. Remember this day back in 1976. I was just a wee lad. Barely remember it, though. The Boston Celtics and the Phoenix Suns triple overtime in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Celtics would take the series on June the 6th, but what a wild triple overtimer it was.
5 seconds. White, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be all over. And look at the fans here in the Boston Garden. They battled 3 overtimes. And finally it's over. But would you believe the end of that third overtime?
Incredible. Brett Musburger with the call on CBS Sports that day as the Celtics beat the Suns. On this day in 1980, Gordie Howe announced his retirement from hockey. We did a little digging. We found Gordie's last ever playoff goal.
I think he just kind of flipped it to the net, and somehow the goalie didn't see it.
Big Father Time still doing his thing out here, and they're going to give him a standing ovation here in the Montreal Forum.
How about that? Gordie Howe in his 50s was scoring goals in the NHL. He retired on this day in 1980. And finally, on this day in 1984, for the first time in 32 years, Arnold Palmer did not make the cut for the U.S. Open golf tournament. He caught up with a CBS interviewer after his round, and he got pretty emotional.
It's been 40 years, and when you walk up the 18th and you get an ovation like that, I guess that says it all.
For every golfer in the
There
entire
it was,
world.
Arnold Palmer. Remember Arnie's Army? Man, that was something. On this day in 1984, first time in 32 years, he failed to make the cut for the U.S. Open. That is Today in Sports History. We do it every Monday through Friday, right around 5:30 here on 1310 WDPN and the Sam Bourquin Show. The news and the weather, it's all coming up.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:30. Law enforcement officials say Mohammed Solomon, the suspect in the anti-Semitic attack in Boulder, Colorado, had been planning the attack for a year. ABC's Alex Stone has more on the suspect's family, who were taken into custody Tuesday.
They're likely going to be deported, we don't know, to Egypt, where he had lived for 17 years, or Kuwait, rather, where he had lived for 17 years, or to Egypt, where he was born, and some family members may have been born as well. So where they will go, we don't know. The White House had tweeted out last night, or on X, they had said that the family members might have been deported as quickly as last night. We understand that has not happened. It's going through the process, but that they will be leaving the U.S.
Europe and the United States say progress has been made, but there were no breakthroughs during a meeting in Paris to negotiate a settlement of a tariff spat with global economic ramifications. European Union top trade negotiator Maros Sefcovic met today with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer on the sidelines of a meeting of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Sefcovic said in a post on X that the sides are advancing in the right direction and staying in close contact. Brussels and Washington, though, are unlikely to reach a substantive trade agreement in Paris. President Trump today spoke by phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin, that according to the president on social media. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has more.
President Trump says his phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin lasted an hour and 15 minutes. He called it, quote, a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. He said the two presidents discussed Ukraine's Sunday attack on Russian airfields and writes, quote, President Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond. Russia and Ukraine held talks on Monday in Turkey, but the attacks have intensified. U.S. officials said they were disappointed, but not surprised by the substantial list of demands Russia said must be met before it would agree to a 30-day ceasefire. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
An Israeli and U.S.-backed group has temporarily paused food delivery at its 3 distribution sites in Gaza. This after health officials said dozens of Palestinians were killed in a series of shootings near the sites this week. Separately, officials said Israeli strikes across the country killed 26 people overnight and into today. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation says it was in talks with the Israeli military on better guiding foot traffic near its distribution sites and enhancing military procedures. Gaza health officials, the Red Cross, and the UN Human Rights Office said 27 people were killed Tuesday. Witnesses blamed Israeli forces. Israel's military said it fired near people it described as suspects and that it is looking into reports of casualties. It's 84 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For your Wednesday afternoon, sunshine and a high around 87. Overnight, clouds will move in, a low near 66. Thursday, showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, a high around 80. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
5:36 on your Wednesday afternoon. We really appreciate you hanging out with us here on 1310 WDPN. Matter of fact, why don't you make it a listening habit all day? What do you say? That alarm goes off in the morning. Rex in the morning, beginning at 6 a.m. until 10. John Tesh from 10 until 3. Really cool program, too. And then the Sam Bourquin Show rolls in 3 until 6 right here on 1310 WDPN on X, on Facebook. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. And while you're there, maybe give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share, drop us a comment, and we'll interact with you. We love doing that here on the program. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's your favorite genre of music? What is it? Rock, pop, hip-hop, or country? Let us know on social media, or you can even you can give us a ring at 330-821-1310. If you can't call, you can text 330-924-7088. The text line is 330-904 7088. Let's go check out some of these here. Bill Wright says, Sammy, great job today. As always, we're going to go with rock music. Bill Elliott says, country for me. Let's see here. John Appleby says, rock. Mike Streb says, country. Rob Metzger going with, let's see here. He's going to go with rock. Marcus Walsh says, give me the country. Jeff Haas says, pop or Chatham country. Okay, we'll go with that. Ryan Oliver finishing up over at Central Catholic in the kitchen today. Ollie, hope you're well. He says he'll go with rock. Jerry Clapper says country. Angie Nykum, hope you're well, Ange. She says country. Dougie Edwards says classic rock for him. Al Gordon, our guy, Al in Akron. Al, hope you're doing well. He says country for him as well. Matt Kirkbride says all of them. Walter Moyer says, Sammy, I want rock, pop, and country. Diane Kiko says, give me the pop. Rich Gunther, big Canton South Wildcat guy. He says A, B, and D. Tons of 80s thrown in. Likes them all. Louis Pantella says rock. Mike Linky says pop. And Reese Miller says hip-hop. Keep them coming in. We'll be with you till 6 o'clock tonight. Drop us a line. All the social media platforms, AM 1310. WDPN. You can also watch and listen to us on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and the YouTube channel. See a lot of you logging in there right now to see what's going on here on the program. All right, quick reset of the baseball scores today before we tell you about rookie jersey sales in the NFL. Glen Oak Golden Eagles lose today in the bottom of the 7th. Medina 9, Glen Oak 8. Amherst Steel beats Green 4-1, I believe was the final. And Lakewood beat Hoover today 3-2. Still looking for our first updates on Central Catholic Norwayne and looking for updates on the Jackson game, which I believe started a little bit behind schedule today at Munson. I think they were going to start about 5:20, 5:25. So as soon as we get some more updates in, we'll pass them along to you here on 1310 WDPN. By the way, big show tomorrow. We've got a 3-question Thursday. We've got Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report. We're going to talk Browns OTAs. We've got Matt Underwood from Cleveland Guardians TV. We'll talk a little guards. And we got Sammy Amico from Hoopswire. We'll talk a little NBA and a little bit more Cavs postseason. All that and more tomorrow here between 3 and 6 on 1310 WDPN. Okay. Top selling NFL rookie jerseys. I bet a lot of you don't even know or can't even name 10 rookies. I bet you can't.
I can't name one, Sam.
I mean, I looked at this list, and right away I looked at number one. I go, oh, okay, well, that figures. Number 1 is Shedeur Sanders. Now, Shedeur, of course, from Colorado, 5th-round pick, 144 overall, got the top-selling jersey. He's not wearing his familiar 2 that he wore in Colorado. He's wearing 12, okay? But I'm looking at the rest of the list. Travis Hunter from Jacksonville comes in at number 2. I can see that. Cam Ward, another quarterback, comes in at 3 of the Tennessee Titans. At 4, Ashton Genty of the Las Vegas Raiders, outstanding running back out of Boise State. Number 5, Abdul Carter, lineman out of Penn State, now with the New York Giants. There's your top 5. Then when you go down to 6, it's Jackson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss, also with the New York Giants. Hey, if the New York Giants hit on both their players, they got Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart in the same draft. Now, if they could just coach up there, they might be dangerous someday. Getting rid of guys like Saquon Barkley and drafting, quarterbacks like Daniel Jones. Now, here's where I'm like, okay, I've heard of these guys, but man, if you'd have told me they would be in the top 10 of jersey sales, I'd say no way. Ted McMillan, it comes in at number 7. He's with the Carolina Panthers. Number 8, top-selling rookie jerseys in the NFL. Matthew Golden, now a member of the Green Bay Packers. Then it's Colston Loveland at 9 with the Chicago Bears. And then at 10, Tyler Warren with the Indiana Pacers. Is anybody really shocked that Shedeur Sanders has the number 1 selling NFL rookie jersey? It's been about a month since the draft. Everybody's had a little rookie mini camp. Some teams have had OTAs. Browns are actually finishing up one of their OTA series today. But he leads in jersey sales by a pretty good margin. After the conclusion of the draft, where remember he was picked up in the 5th round, Shedeur Sanders' jersey was the number 1 seller among all draft picks. And that was before he even had a number. He was the number 1 selling jersey. People were getting in line, pre-ordering the jersey for Shedeur, and they didn't even know what number he was going to wear. I thought he would wear 2. Somebody must not have wanted to give that up. I don't know who wore number 2 for us last year. I'm trying to remember. I know that Amari Cooper had it, didn't he? But he went to the Buffalo Bills. So that number should have been open. But somebody actually obviously has it, or Shedeur would have taken number 2. At any rate, he goes for number 12. So basically, he took his old college jersey and he put a 1 in front of it. Okay? Number 1 selling jersey, a 5th round draft pick. Pick number 144 in the entire National Football League draft. Number 1 sales. And give it, give it a couple of more months, and then wait till the preseason rolls around. And if he does anything, if there is any success, any flash at all, Browns fans, they will eat that up like it's surf and turf. They'll be throwing money buying the Shedeur Sanders jersey. Kid might not even get on the field this year. But yet, that's the world we live in. We live in the world of social media. We live in the world of clicks. We live in the world of TikTok. We live in the world of flash and dash and bling. And that's where the money goes. And that's what the people are buying. Speaking of the NFL preseason, I saw a list of I can't believe that anybody's even doing this, but they have the top 10 preseason NFL games to kind of get you ready for and what to look for with certain teams and players and the like. Panthers, Browns, number 1 on the list. Carolina and Cleveland. Obviously, all eyes will be on Shedeur. Then there's the rest of the quarterback room, right? Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel. How is that all going to play out? Will we learn anything at all by the first preseason game? What kind of order is Kevin Stefanski going to run the guys out there? Will all 4 even play in the first preseason game? We'll see. Steelers, Jags was on this list as well, and you know why there. Will Aaron Rodgers be in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform? And will he play in the preseason? Doubtful. But if he finally agrees to come play with the Steelers, interest will go through the roof. Tennessee and Atlanta scheduled for the 15th. Michael Penix Jr., this is his team now. This is his team. The smooth-throwing left-hander. Hasn't got a lot of reps in the NFL. Hasn't had his number called a lot. They're banking on him. They're banking on him. And, of course, with Tennessee, you got the overall number 1 pick, Cam Ward. Probably playing in his first game. San Francisco at the Raiders on August the 16th. Pete Carroll. How will he use running back Ashton Genty? What kind of offensive philosophy is Cheater Pete going to have out there with the Raiders? And I call him that lovingly because all the stuff he pulled out at USC. So I call him Cheater Pete. But I'll be watching to see what the Raiders do. The man can coach. The man can coach. August the 17th, the Jaguars in the Saints. That'll be down in New Orleans. Chance to see Travis Hunter in action for the Jags in the offense in the preseason. Then there's the New Orleans Saints quarterback angle. Remember their second round pick, Tyler Shuck out of Louisville? Guy just shot up the board like crazy. I'm like, why is everybody making a big deal about this guy? Well, I don't know if it was guys giving him unnecessary pub or what. You know, some of the big-time writers, Mel Kiper was just Tyler Shuck. Well, they ended up going to the Saints. So that could be fun there, Saints and Jags on the 18th. August the 21st, this is NFL preseason now we're talking. Yep. Patriots at the Giants. The Giants have 3 quarterbacks in that room. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. Holy smokes. Jameis is still going to be Jameis. Russell Wilson. Is he out of gas? And there's the rookie out of Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. That could be fun. That could be fun. The Vikings and Titans on August the 22nd. This will be game 3 for Cam Ward of the Titans. What's he going to look like after a couple of starts? And what about J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings? Remember the kid out of Michigan was having a hell of a camp last year, got hurt, done for the year. What's he going to be like as he tries to overcome that knee injury? Chicago Bears at the Kansas City Chiefs, August the 22nd. Ben Johnson takes over as the team's head coach. How will he get along with? How will he use How will he try to get Caleb Williams to the next level? And then there's Kansas City. Big old Andy Reid. He always plays his starters in the preseason. They all get action. And it seemed to have worked out pretty well for them, right? Wouldn't you say? How many Super Bowls in a row have they been to? All right. That's on the 22nd of August. Now, August the 23rd, the Rams at the Browns. This could be a game where the Browns maybe have it narrowed down to maybe their top two quarterbacks. And where will Shedeur Sanders be by August the 23rd? That'll be interesting to watch that. That's I think the Browns are only, not sure if they're playing 2 preseason games at home or not. Because remember, there's only 3 now to do the 17-week season. But let's see. Let's see what the Browns look like on August 23rd. What's that quarterback room going to look like then? That'll be interesting to follow. Wouldn't it be something if the young buck out of Colorado just has an unbelievable training camp? You don't really learn much about OTAs. You don't. But what if he just, look, I'm not counting him out. Look, here's the deal. There's the floor. You don't sniff the field. Then there's the ceiling. You could be the starting quarterback. And with the Cleveland Browns, that floor to ceiling, it's always that big. I would not count him out. I wouldn't count him out. Now, the Browns are going to have to count somebody out. You can't carry 4 QBs. And would they, I mean, he'd have to be pretty bad for the Browns to cut him. Then you got Pickett, you got Flacco, you got Gabriel. It's going to be a wild preseason for the Browns. I still think they won't win 5 games, but as usual, they will give us plenty to talk about. They always do. 5:54 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll take our final break. We'll come back and wrap things up. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can always text the program at 330-924-7088. Back with more on 1310 WDPN.
Did you know that those with mental health challenges can be right in front of our eyes, but still go unseen? Behind some smiles, there's hidden pain because our struggles aren't always on the surface. And they can affect anyone, anywhere, at any time. It's okay not to feel okay. There's strength in connecting and seeking help. Share, connect, get informed. Your mental health is in your hands. Visit melaninthriving.com/mental health in your hands.
This message brought to you by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
We learn valuable life lessons from our loved ones. Lessons that protect our home and keep us safe. Like avoiding pests such as cockroaches that can be attracted to leaking pipes, or mice that are drawn to left out food. And standing water around your home can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Stopping pests that can spread disease is a valuable life lesson to pass down from one generation to the next. Learn how you can have a healthy, pest-free home. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, welcome back to the program, 1310 WDPN. Don't forget you can watch and listen on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel anytime. You can also watch and listen on the AM 1310 WDPN X page and the Facebook page as well. Make sure you're on social media. Check us out. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Let us know what you think. We will continue to interact with you here on the program. And, of course, get your day started with Rex in the morning at 6 a.m., John Tesh from 10 until 3, and I'm along at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN. All right, good news from Munson in Game 2 of that regional doubleheader today. Jackson has taken a quick 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. So Jackson on top by the score of 2-0 on Perrysburg. Earlier today, heartbreak. Medina beats Glen Oak 9-8. Lakewood beats Hoover 3-1. And Amherst Steel knocks off Green. Haven't seen a Central Catholic update yet, but they were getting underway a little bit after 5 o'clock today over at Ducky Schroeder Field in Massillon. So hopefully the Crusaders and Bears can take care of business today, and they will all both come back tomorrow for a chance to go to the state tournament in Akron next weekend. All right. Sad news yesterday from the NFL. Jim Marshall, former Minnesota Viking, former member of the famed Purple People Eaters, passed away at the age of 87. Marshall was a beast. He was an Iron Man. Now, of course, he's remembered infamously for running the wrong way during a football game, recovered an interception or a fumble. I've seen the video 15,000 times, and it's like, oh, my gosh, you just feel so bad for him. He's chucking it to the other end of the field. He thinks he scored a touchdown. He crosses the goal line. He spins around. He throws the ball up in the air, only to find out that, well, he scored for the wrong team. He ran the wrong way. But he started 270 games in a row for the Vikings. How's that for being an Iron Man? 1961 to 1979. The Buckeye product helped the Vikings reach 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. But doggone it, they couldn't get one. They couldn't get one, the Vikes. 3-time All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowler. Also was a team captain for 14 consecutive seasons. Rest in peace, Jim Marshall. Passed away at the age of 87. All right, that's going to wrap things up for today. Busy day. We got a big show for you tomorrow. So join us tomorrow at 3. For my producer extraordinaire, Ryan Rainsberg, thanks to all of you for calling, texting, commenting. Always love to interact with you here on the program. Big day tomorrow. Sam Amico, Fred Greetham, Matt Underwood, all joining the show between 3 and 6 tomorrow. So you want to hang out with us there. All right, go Crusaders, go Bears. Finish off that stuff tonight. Hopefully we'll talk about a win for both teams tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Remember, go Browns, go Bucks, go Cavs, go Guards. Good night.